about congruence of triangle. Before we do that, let us recall the term triangle. What is a triangle? A triangle is the simplest of all polygons. It is three-sided figure and it encloses an area inside. And since there are three sides connected to one another, three angles are formed, therefore triangles. Now we are going to study about congruence. What do we mean by congruence? Congruence is nothing but equality. How are they equal? How can we say that two triangles are equal? What are the criterions? And before that, let us see what is congruence of plane figure. Now a plane figure, a figure which can be drawn on a sheet of paper on a plane surface is called as plane figure. Now this is plane figure here, figure 1 and figure 2. Both these are plane figures. Now how can you say that these are congruent? How can we say that these figures are equal? Basically, when we have such kind of a thing, what is supposed to be done is we have to superpose them. Put one on top of the other, and if they are exactly the same, then we say they are equal. And when they are equal, we give the sign like this. The sign here, sleeping S upon equals to sign, is called as congruence. The sign is said to be congruent. Here, because these figures are congruent, figure 1 and figure 2 are congruent, we say F1 congruent to F2. And we read it in this fashion, congruent to. Now next we have congruence among line segments. Now line segments, how do we say that line segments are congruent? We are not talking about lines here because lines can be extended infinitely on either side. But we are here talking about segments. Segments, part of the line which has a definite measure. The definition of a segment. A definite measure. Now that definite measure, if two segments are having the same, then we say that the line segments are equal. Now here there are two sets of line segments, this first one and that second one. Now which ones are equal? Both these are equal while PQ is greater than RS. So which one we should say congruent? We could say AB is congruent to CD, whereas this one is not congruent. When they are not congruent, we just write it in words not congruent. And here the statement reads, if two line segments have same, that is equal length, they are congruent. Also, if two line segments are congruent, they have the same length. Vice versa. Both are the same thing. If the line segments have equal length, then they are congruent. If they are congruent, then they have equal length. It's called as vice versa of the same statement. Converse of the same statement when you go to the higher classes. Now next, congruence of angle. When do we say that the angles are congruent? What defines an angle? The measure of the angle. Using the protractor, when you get an angle, that is called as measure of an angle. Now how do we say that the angles are congruent? Now here we have four different angles. Which of these are equal, are congruent? Angles are basically two rays. Rays do not have definite measure because they have endpoint on one side and another side can be extended infinitely. So by definition, we know that the angles, the arms of the angles can be extended indefinitely. So here the measure, the inside measure, this is 40 degrees, this is 40 degrees, this is 30 degrees, this is 40 degrees. So which angles are equal? The angles that measure the same. Using protractor, when you find the measure of the angle, and if they are equal, then the angles are supposed to be equal. 40 degree each, then these angles are equal. That means this angle and the last one are equal to one another. And when they are equal, how do we write it? We write angle ABC congruent to angle PQR, which is congruent to XYZ. Here, since three angles are there, we have written it in this form. And the statement, if two angles have the same measure, they are congruent. Also, if two angles are congruent, their measures are same. Angles are measured, the angles are equal, then the measures are same. Measures are equal, then the angles are congruent. Vice versa of the same statement. Like I said, converse of the same statement. Now next, congruence of triangle. Now we come to congruence of triangle. When are the triangles supposed to be congruent? Whenever we have a triangle and we superpose them one on top of the other and the measures are equal, then the triangles are supposed to be congruent. Now here are certain examples. Two triangles, if they are copies of each other, when superposed, they cover each other exactly. When you put one triangle atop the other and completely every single bit is equal, then the triangles are supposed to be congruent. Here the triangle ABC and triangle PQ are congruent. Now what happens when the triangles are congruent? What are the continuing statements? What are the reasons? What are the assertion? What are the meaning of these things? Let us see that. Now when two triangles are congruent, the vertices are supposed to be corresponding. Correspondence, this is a symbol of correspondence. Now here we are not supposed to be confused with corresponding angles of parallel lines and corresponding angles of a triangle. Corresponding angles of a triangle, the angle which are equal to one another. If these are the vertices which are corresponding, then the corresponding vertices are these, and therefore corresponding sides are these, and corresponding angles are these. What does it mean? If angle A and angle P are equal to one another, then we say that they are corresponding angles and therefore they are equal because the triangles are congruent. And then corresponding sides, likewise we could say the same. AB and PQ are equal, BC and QR are equal, AC and PR are equal. This is how a triangle would say. See, if triangle ABC and PQ are similar, are congruent to one another, then which vertices correspond to one another? When you cut out these triangles and put on top of one another, then which side goes on top of the other one? We have to see that. Now next, exercise 7.1. Now here we have to complete the statement. It's basically fill in the blanks. Two line segments are congruent. When are they congruent? If they have equal length. They are equal in measure, that is equal in length. Measure for a line segment is length. So we could also write they are equal in measure, or they are equal. That's also sufficient. Among two congruent angles, one has measure of 70 degree, the measure of the other angle is, two angles are congruent. How do we say that they are congruent? Their measures have to be equal. Now the measure given here is 70 degree. So both angles must have 70 degree. So this other angle also must be 70 degree. When we write angle A is equal to angle B, what do we actually mean? We mean that they are equal in measure. They are equal in measure because their measures are going to be equal if they are congruent. Now next, give any two real life examples for congruent shapes. Now where do we see congruent shapes? Now that is something that you have to do on your own because everyone has a different experience, and based on your experience you could write your own examples. So that's an open-ended question, so there is no right or wrong. You could write your own answer according to your own experience. So that's left to you. Now if triangle ABC and triangle FED are congruent, under correspondence ABC corresponds to FED. Now here triangles are congruent, but what is the correspondence? Correspondence is an important thing. If correspondence is not there, then we are going to be going blindly about it. So this is the correspondence. A corresponds to F, B corresponds to E, and C corresponds to D. This is the correspondence. Write all the corresponding congruent parts of the triangle. Now this is the correspondence according to the vertices. What are the vertices which are congruent? A corresponds to F, B corresponds to E, and C corresponds to D. Now based on this, what are our corresponding parts? Now there are going to be 6 corresponding parts. Corresponding sides, 3 of them, and corresponding angles, 3 pair of them again. So first one, let's see. Corresponding congruent sides. They are AB and FC, BC and ED, AC and FD. These are the corresponding sides. Now corresponding angles. Angle A and angle F, angle B and angle E, and angle C and angle D. These are the corresponding angles of this triangle, is congruent triangle. Based on the correspondence, this is what the conclusion is going to be. This is our inference. Now next, if triangle DEF congruent to triangle BCA, write all the parts of triangle BCA that corresponds to. Now we are going to see what are the corresponding parts. Angle E corresponds to angle C. Angle E and angle C. See, they are both in the middle of the triangle. The correspondence will be E and C, and likewise EF. The last 2 letters. So last 2 letters here. So CA. Then again angle F and angle A. Angle F is the last one. So angle A, the last one in the second triangle. Then DF corresponds to DF, the first and last. So first and last, that is DA. That's how we are supposed to get the correspondence. We have to see the position of the letter, the vertex, and then write the corresponding sides or angles based on what we are doing.
That's about the chapter congruence of triangles, the beginning. In the next video, we'll be studying about the criterions for congruence of triangles. Till then, it's good day and goodbye from me.